one.
All right, so we are back here today, and we're going to cover a topic that I think that probably needs to be talked about because, especially with today's society and where we are, and we're going to talk about natural beauty, as we all should know what that is versus. Okay, we got a little title says inner beauty, but I'm gonna go a little deeper than that because at this time when you are out here and you're gonna be looking for that special person and you want to find that person that's gonna be in your life and you meet them out there and abroad, are you meeting the real person or something else? And I know we sitting here we thinking, oh, maybe you're meeting somebody's represented. No, we're talking actually looking at someone, or are you looking at someone, or they're kind of what I call made up? Now, again, I can say this from women wearing makeup. Maybe it's eyelashes, maybe it's eyeliner, maybe it's blush, maybe I don't know much about all those things, but I could imagine you walking up to a man and get home and he start wiping off his blush or he's wiping off his eyelashes, or to be exact, maybe you just finished and you think of this is just kind of give you a visual, and he pulled this fake thing off and say this is what it really is. So I'm just saying at this point, where do we go with this? Where do we go with this in life? And so today we got Quantas here with us from Atlanta. She's going to be here August the 8th in Dallas, and this is the countdown. So we're going to really tell you what's going to be happening in August. We got Brother Joseph, we got Dreamwise and his wife Desiree. She's actually doing a couple of things. Well, she'll be back here in a minute. So I'm just going to kick it off right here, and I'll start with you, Quantas. What if a man just, you woke up the next morning, he just didn't look like he was that day, and it wasn't about that he's just a little laid back, but he took the six pack off, he took the other stuff off, and then what you thought was there was laying on the table, and it's not what it was. It was fake. And what kind of conversation are you having? Because obviously we're supposed to, as men, accept everything but that. But then what happens on the other end?
I just think that this is a really interesting topic. Somebody actually just brought this up with me today,
Mm.
and I have different thoughts about it. So one, I will say that a man is not supposed to accept anything.
Mhm.
Honestly, there's I don't view it as it's supposed to. It's what I will also say is as it pertains to women's beauty rituals and women's adornment rituals, because ultimately when you get to a certain state of consciousness, it's really a matter of why you're doing it.
Mhm.
When you get to any state of consciousness, it's a matter of why you're doing anything and whether you're consciously doing it or not.
Mhm.
So as it pertains to the beauty rituals for most women, I'll say it's not really for the male gaze anyway.
That's
Mm.
good, Aquinas. That's fire. Yeah. Yeah.
So I this is an interesting conversation for me because if you brought it down to a man coming to the house, and I mean, I don't know too many people who got six pack BBLs, but you can tell when a woman got a real BBL,
Right, right.
you
There you
can
go. Yeah.
tell. So this is where a question of if I'm taking it the proper way that you're delivering it, what I'm receiving is a level of deceptiveness. Is
Mhm.
it deceptive if you can tell
Mhm. Yeah, I
and
think
it's
it.
not for the intention of deceiving?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a level of, and that's good, Aquinas. That's fire because that's what it is. It makes sense. It's just your level of consciousness, your level of ability to see past the glamour, past the lure of the human, physical structure that a lot of men fall deeply into based off of lust, right? They're attracted to a certain archetype energy based off of the lust aspect of it. But if you really break it down physiologically, um, a woman's ass is supposed to be a particular shape and size based off of, you know, we see it, men, physiologically, we see it as, okay, she'll be able to have babies. She'll be able to easily bring a baby into this world, right? So that's something
Look, I
instinctively.
don't wear them glasses no more, brother. Those type of glasses is off. But go
Oh,
ahead.
so you're looking for the hips that are like kind of squeezed in, huh? You looking for them hips
You
now?
just want the continuation, like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's an inner thing, though. It's a internal noise that we downgrade as a physical attribute that we find beautiful, right? And it is a beautiful, like, if a female's ass is beautiful. Um, so yeah, I think it's a lot of being able to have a first eye about yourself, right? Being able to see past the glamour, see it past the glare. I remember I was dealing with a particular chick, a particular female she was all dolled up, and you know what I'm saying, she had the physical features, if you will, but internally she was a mess. She was ugly. So I was in a particular space of low vibrational energy. She was in a particular space of low vibrational energy. And as I became more conscious and aware, I started seeing because I don't believe anybody's ugly, but I just started seeing the ugly side of her, which was more than just the inner, it was also the outer. So, sometimes your first eye just has to be open because, again, when you're hitting that ass from the back, you got to remember it's just ass.
Well,
Okay, well,
brother Yosa,
let me
let's
tell you
go
something
with
on that,
that.
brother. I like all the different perspectives. Like, what I'm saying? It's beautiful. But, my thing with that is, I got a daughter that's 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I already see qualities in her. She has a lot of confidence, but she already wants to wear lipstick. She not lipstick, but the little, what do you call it, lip enhancing stuff? Lip gloss, right? She just, for her birth, she just turned 11 a few weeks ago. She got her nails painted for the first time. Nobody had to tell her to want to do this stuff. You could say, well, she's watching her mother and stuff like that. And as I sit back and watch from outside the box, I'm thinking, like, you know what? I think this is just a natural thing where women have a desire. Now, just hold on. What I'm saying, listen to me closely, y'all. I think I look at women as the universal prime creator in flesh. That's how I look at women. I believe if you ever got a chance to look at this universal prime creator, it would be more of a female looking energy, without a shadow of a doubt, right? Mm-hmm. And I think now, if you look into the Gnostic text, they always talk about how Sophia, on a deeper level, wanted to be worshipped. She wanted to see her own beauty, but she couldn't see it, so she created Kangol, right? The male aspect of herself, so he can look at her and say, "You're beautiful. You're this gorgeous person," right? So I think women have a desire to be worshipped, right? Not from an ego perspective, but everything about them is like, look at my beauty, right? And then a man has a desire to be needed. I think you crush a man when he's not needed at all, right? Kangol was needed to look at Sophia and show her beauty. Baby, you wake up every day to the creator and say, "You're beautiful," right? But Kangol needs to be needed. The male force needs to be needed. So I think that women do it naturally. I think every woman is always going to enhance themselves. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it until they take it way over. Fake this and fake that. I don't think there's anything fake about putting on lipstick or putting on eyeliner. I think you're just enhancing what's already there, but then there's an extreme level to it. Hopefully I'm not way off the map and people understand what I'm saying. That's kind of how I see it when it comes to women. You know what I mean? Women like flowers.
You are absolutely dropping, Joseph.
I'm just being, because I deal with women as a wife and I got a daughter. So I'm thinking, like, women they like flowers. So you mess up, they want you to apologize. They want you to show them that you love them. A man just needs to feel needed. If you're a man and you feel like you're worthless, you don't feel like you're not giving up to society, eventually you're going to feel depressed as a man. Mm-hmm. And I think if nobody ever tells a woman she's beautiful, that's going to psychologically affect her on a deep level. So I just want to say that. That's my perspective.
Well, that ain't even close to what I'm talking about. I know each one of y'all, I'm saying you meet her, she looks like this. And you get home, she looks like that. And this ain't that. And we got to accept it. But could that happen on the other foot? That's all I'm saying. Could this man
that's what I'm saying.
Has eczema and then now he got makeup on every day and then he get home and now all of a sudden he pull it off. Are you still in love? You
Well,
know,
that's what I'm saying, brother. I'm saying a man don't need to be doing all that. He just needs to be needed. He needs to feel needed. He needs to be respected, right? But a woman, it's okay. She's always going to. We have to understand that's what women are going to do. You may come home and she may pull her eyelashes off or her whatever. That's okay, because that's to be expected. Unless it gets to the point where you don't got surgeries and everything is fake. That's where it gets a little extreme.
Yeah, you got to think about it like this, Roger. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the higher level of consciousness you are, the more you can see past the glamour and the fixation of a whole bunch of makeup and a BBL. Essentially, when we talk about flowers, right, it's a symbolic representation of her, of the goddess. So a flower is also esoterically the flow her. So we're trying to get her to flow energetically, right? That flow state is a big thing. You want her to get wet. I'm just speaking as plain as simple, right? So I think a lot of times it's not necessarily about what would you say? What that glamour looks like. It's like, can you penetrate into her soul and see something deeper than just, you know what I'm saying, a BBL and some a botched titty job.
Well, okay. I mean, we all know we're here on August the 8th. We're going to help people. And same thing, I'm learning too. So I'm not excluding me from these conversations that we're having. But I think, you know, in reality, we're talking about people trying to find that one or become that one for someone else. And my question, and we see this because, we're supposed to look at inner beauty, which is true, you know, but at that point, I guess I can ask this with Desiree or Quantus, but at what point is this man is going to see this woman that he's dating 5 or 6 dates out? When do you show him the real you? When do he gets to see what's this, all this veil pull off? Because we're making decisions. Now, I am going to tell you, you look beautiful in this red dress tonight, all made up with the doll face. But if I look at you and say you look beautiful and you don't think you do because you got to wear makeup to hide it, now what are we dealing with mentally now?
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's self-esteem, you know? So, yeah.
I feel you on that. And what I was about to say is, regardless of whether, so when does a person get to see it? I mean, FaceTime the person, you know, and then you
that is one of my going, that's one of my going things.
You know, just FaceTime them. And people F with people who F with themselves, regardless of whether you are a man who decided to cover up some of your acne with some makeup. You know, the men be having it's called the Beijing line, when the hairline, you know, when they don't just want to shave it bald.
Mm-hmm.
There are women who are married to these men or who are loving on these men, you know. So people F with people who F with themselves. And just because you decide to enhance, you know, Brother Joseph, I love that you use that. Just because you decide, man or woman, to enhance whatever you have, and you decided if you take it off and you comfortable at home, then a woman is gonna be like, he comfortable. And I feel like I can't speak for men. I cannot speak for men. But I would assume because men or woman, people date people who look like anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I really feel like it's really about what the person is emitting, but like the energy they're emitting, but also how they feel about themselves. So if you want to see what a woman look like, hit her on the FaceTime. If she got a problem being seen, then that is information, you know, that's information for you.
There you go. That's 100%, because that is one of the things. And if anyone have ever talked with me, and if you watching, you out there, they know FaceTime is going to be the thing, because you can see things in a natural state at all times. But there's people who will hide from that, in pretty much. So now, just to drive our conversations deeper at that point, because you made a great point of if this does not happen, you know, because you got people, again, won't go anywhere without their made up, you know. I don't know if it's the man side of that. I just don't know. But I want to use the word acceptance, though, regardless to what we're talking about. And in the conscious community, we want to focus on that inner energy. But at this point, you know, the world says something different when it comes down to natural versus And we already know the world sells us all of these things pretty much. So what would we say to people who are, not themselves? I'm just going to use this, whether it's a man or a woman, and they are presenting themselves out here. They are looking for that mate. I mean, where does that conversation go when they know that they don't look like that, so to speak?
That's good, Roger. You said it. That's it. You said it. You dress for who you are. That's it. I
Can
mean,
I?
whatever state of consciousness you at, you dress who you are. You don't dress. See, a lot of people, they're dressing for attention, but the real game is you're always going to be, whether it's low vibrational or high vibrational, you're dressing for alignment.
And you know what I would start with? I'm sorry, I'm gonna sing it. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. That's where you gotta. That's where you have to start. And
Who sang
um,
that song?
that's Michael.
Oh
He,
my,
he made he made a lot of money off of that.
Stop
Good.
playing, Roger.
I
But
mean,
you
if he did, let him do it.
listen. Hey, Roger, don't play because me and Dream will both break out in song, and you will enjoy.
Hey, well, we got karaoke going on next couple of
We
weeks.
love a good karaoke. I am here for it. But no, real that's really where it starts, um, reestablishing a better relationship to self, right? And I'm telling you that from experience. I remember after having our first child and I was carrying that baby weight and I just was not feeling cute. I was not feeling attractive. I was not feeling like myself. And you know what I would attract? I would attract random people coming up to me saying, "Are you pregnant?" Mind you, I done had that baby 6 months ago,
mm,
right? But that's what I was attracting. And eventually I said, okay, Desiree, you got to take responsibility for how people are seeing you because all of these people saying these things to you, there has to be something there that they're seeing, that they're observing. And so I ended up getting in the mirror and just really speaking and appreciating my body. And do you know, nobody has ever asked me that again. And I done had 3 more children after that.
yeah, that's
I
good.
don't get asked that question. I haven't gotten asked that question since that first transition into motherhood. But I
You look
also
good, by the way.
thank you, sis. I appreciate that. You too, girl. I see you in the gym. I see you in the gym. I'm inspired. But yeah, after I really started sitting with that, after I started looking in the mirror and first even understanding why I was judging myself in that way or why my body didn't snap back like so many other women's body does. But it's, reestablishing that relationship in the mirror and that self-acceptance is where it's got to start.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's what I mean. Like, you usually see gym people with gym people, right? Um, Hip hoppers with the BBLs, right? You basically are dressing for, you putting on a costume every day to attract a certain energy that you feel worthy of.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, pretty much. So when we on August the 8th,
Mhm.
that day when these people come to what we're going to be doing and talk about. So what are some of the things, especially when it comes down to inner and outer beauty, that we're going to really, what are they going to walk away from in y'all thoughts, as far as someone who is not looking in that mirror like they supposed to, or maybe they looking too hard at the mirror?
I, I
What do we say to these people?
I think the beautiful thing about the event is that you're in a room with people that are aligned with the same ideologies and the same um, you know, uh, energy that you have, right? High vibrational people, visionaries, people that are, you know, seeking entrepreneurship, people that are creatives, people that are spiritualists. And we have this like minded energy that's bubbling in the room. Every event me and Yosef and D Ray have done, um, we just been engulfed in a room full of just magical people, and we just marvel at all the people that show up and show out, and just building with them, and having you know communion with them is a spiritual process in itself. And I think it's something that the family does not want to miss, because the transformational state you leave from these events in, oh boy. So 8-8 family, pull up, come on out, and be transformed.
I would also say you guys are going to receive so many different practical things that you can do to embody what we're talking about now and what we'll be talking about at the event. As a spectator of the event, right? Because like when Dream is doing his thing, when Yosef is doing his thing, when Kiwanis is doing her thing, and Roderick and so on, um, we are really giving you something that you can just hold on to. Like I remember past events, Yosef, of you literally giving so many different books and rituals and practices and, making it practical. And I
Mhm.
think that's super important for this stuff to get out of just being mind or just being, in one part of our being, but we can actually exercise it. Like I got things I want y'all to do and try and experience.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
And
some
I
beautiful.
and I want to
Oh,
say, I think another powerful thing that people will get is a realization. A realization. And on my
Yes.
spiritual journey, one thing I've learned: there's nothing more powerful than a realization. When you come to a realization of something, everything changes, right? So I know we can provide that at the lecture. You guys can have a better realization. Like we talked about earlier, we talked about challenging yourself. If you are afraid to be challenged in a relationship because you might be doing something right or wrong, you can get a better perspective. If you don't like to be challenged, you'll never get what you want because you don't like change at that point. You know what I mean? So come to get a realization, and that realization will help you move better towards the relationship you're looking for. And also a good conversation. I'm guaranteed you're going to have some good conversations with people. So come on out, family.
mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Conversation is going to be it. I have this energy right now that is just kind of poking at me about a question, and I'm going to start it out like this. And this is for everyone in the audience. I want to remove the ego about what I'm about to ask some of you, and I'm going to give you the exclusion of I want to be by myself. So we don't want that part. But I do want everybody to look in that mirror and ask yourself, why are you by yourself? And just be honest in reflection. We can't see who you are. You got usernames, so you can't hide behind that anonymity of that. But I don't want anybody with the ego of saying, because I just want to be by myself. You're great. Don't respond. But we do want a couple of you or any of you that do want to question, because this is what we're here for too in August, because at some point that question has to be answered. And that's not just with myself, with anyone. In hopes that you get to know you and you get to know what maybe you're projecting or not projecting or whatever the word you want to use. But uh, yeah, some of you saying great questions. So I would love for you all to really look into this mirror right now and ask yourself that question. And like I said, all the egos, I gave you the disclaimer, leave that part out, because I know there's some people just really want to say because I want to, and right. But
Yeah, that's not
yeah,
natural, that I want to energy. Like if we look at
yeah.
just the mythologies and understand that every god had a goddess, is everybody had a consort, even in the Bible, Adam and Eve, right? So when you look at this, Shakti, Shiva, Lakshmi, and Lakshmi, and who was that?
And see, Matt, you see what Matt Moore said, that,
For
and,
Daddy.
and I love the answer of that, because that's reflection. He just said, I don't know, maybe I'm just lame. See, that is a real true mirror question, right? And it's not something to it's not a ridicule. It's just now maybe he need to know about himself or whatever. There's some other people say I'm by myself because I didn't realize that I should put more into my spiritual growth and my 5 children and then their mothers. Okay. Um, that could be too based upon whatever, whoever said something about the fatherhood of this. I don't know, but Quantas, I'm sure you can probably hop in on some of those in there. And Desiree, you ladies.
myself because I didn't realize I shouldn't should
Well,
have.
no, I want to.
Or,
I want Dream, baby. I want you to finish what you were saying because what you were saying was important. That when you look at mythologies and you look at these sacred stories that are really expressing right who we are,
mhm,
we see people have divine counterparts,
mhm,
right? You see that Mayat, Tahuti, Shakti, Shiva. You see uh, uh, Isis, Osiris. You see these divine counterparts, so you know that sacred union is for a reason. It tells a story. You know
mhm,
what I mean? It continues a story. And so realizing that first and foremost, that's a part of that self-acceptance, right? And so then you come to the understanding of who do I need to be and what do I need to do, to align with that energy.
mhm.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So it's a beautiful thing. And to the person, babe, I definitely want you to continue what you were going to say. And I want you to talk to him a little bit about Shiva energy,
Mm,
right? Which is the divine masculine. How do you embody more of that? So even if you have little quirks, you're not necessarily lame. You're different. You're you. And there's some other girl or person out there who has the same frequency or understands how you communicate,
mhm.
understands your energy. So what do you think about that, babe?
Well, on a human level, um, you just don't want to be just sleeping around like that. Like you just, giving out your seed to everybody. This ain't no Nick Cannon thing, and you're gonna have a whole headache every day if you have 5, 6 baby mamas. Um, I think it's important to be with that one, to find that one, and to, settle down and be at peace with yourself, right? Uh, um, all the stories and all the books that I've read just made it plain and simple as day. Like you, you're being with this one because you're disciplined in energies inside of yourself that's beyond the human. So as you raise your particular energies up, now you're consciously aware of what love feels like and what love looks like. So transformation is never a thing of um it happens by mistake, right? You got to be intentional about your transformation. This ain't no accidental pursuit like you're going to fall and be transformed. You're going to have the courage and the conviction to say, you know what, I want to be different. I want to be conscious and aware. I'm tired of feeling sad. I'm tired of feeling down. I'm tired of being hurt, right? Because there's a lot of hurt and headaches when you're chasing the cat. You feel me? So naturally, when I went through that particular stage, I thought it was something. I thought it was cool, right? But then again, what happened was I started to find myself in a whole bunch of trouble over and over and over again. Husbands calling, slash tires,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Just a whole bunch of different situations that didn't feel right in my soul. Like, why am I even dealing with this? No conversation, nothing deeper into just surface level stuff. Watching Martin every day. Like, how many times are we gonna watch Martin? God damn, I'm tired of Martin. So, you know what I'm saying? Once you find somebody that can um, move you into a particular state with just not only just the looks, but then also mentally too and spiritually. Now all of a sudden you need to be able to align with that person. And at the event, we're not saying we're trying to put y'all together and have a relationship, but what we are saying is when you are intentional about coming to a powerful, magical event like this and being in a space with like-minded individuals, now all of a sudden you smelling that cocoa butter and you like, oh, okay, I see I see her right there. She go. Yeah,
hmm
I see that dashiki on, girl. God dang. And that's how you align with the person that you're vibrating with.
hmm
can I chime in on this?
Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Um, Dream, you are very funny, by the way. But there's a brother in the comments who said that he didn't meet many spiritual women. And my question is, what measures a woman as spiritual? Because everyone, or what measures a person as spiritual, because everyone that is spiritual is not necessarily healing. And I'm curious about, as it pertains to what people are looking for, as someone who might say they're looking for a spiritual person, what exactly are you looking for? And sometimes the lack of clarity on exactly what that means can keep a person out of alignment with their person.
Yeah, can I answer that question? I love that. I love that. I want to answer that question because I tell people this all the time. Spirituality is simply a person that's following a spiritual set of morals and principles. It could be different from mine. It could be dark principles. It could be light principles. It could be whatever. But a person just wearing crystals and put on a head wrap don't make you spiritual. And you come into a few lectures. And I got to say that for the spiritual community. And this is for women out there who see brothers with crystals, 100 million crystals on, and he's not spiritual, sis. He's not. Just because he comes to the thing. If he's not following a spiritual system, that's what makes you spiritual. If you're not working on your spirit, and there's different ways. There's healers, like Sister Kwana said. There's healers who works in a healing system, and they're working on their spirit. They're spiritual. But people who just go to these things and say Hotep and throw their fists in the air, you're not spiritual. I'm sorry. You're not. What's spiritual, you got to be working on your spirit. There has to be a transformation. If you're not transforming, you're not spiritual at all. And I've run into tons of people who say they're spiritual and they're not spiritual. You got to follow. I know people who they only get spiritual when somebody stuff on their sneakers. Somebody mess with their husband or their man. Now they want to hex you. Now they spiritual, but they know how to hex people. I've seen them all, right? A person who is spiritual is following a path. They're trying to reach a certain level of consciousness. That's their goal in life. And they get challenged just like we get challenged, just like anybody else. So I want to warn everybody who's dating people. You may date a person that got crystals on. You may date a sister that got hair wraps, and they come to all the lectures. But if they're not following a path that is transforming them, that they're committed to, that they are not spiritual. So I just wanted to say that from my perspective, my opinion.
That's fire, Joseph. Yeah, that's fire. And the mirror could be spiritual. Like when you look in the mirror, there's a energy that you feel about yourself that nobody else feels, and only you know what it is. So you're gonna have to be the, how would you say, the judge, right? The Ma'at. You're gonna have to fall into that Ma'at energy and understand if you are looking at somebody that's whole, that's healed, that's joyous inside, or somebody that's hurting, that's filled with traumas, that's filled with low vibrational ideas that doesn't serve their greater good.
And I want to say this too. I want somebody to answer my homegirls thing. She said, conversation is good. I'm gonna mess with you, sis. But why can't people want to be by themselves? Explain how that's ego. I don't think we're telling people they can't be by themselves, right?
Yeah.
But I want, if anybody else want to answer that, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. If anybody got anything,
I'll since I initiated it, I'll take the first blunt of it. It wasn't intended to say that it was ego. Ego was going to be the response. And reason I said that, because typically to shadow, or not to shadow, but normally not you, when we're not talking to you, I'm talking, not talking at you, but just to us. But the whole point was, what I was trying to eliminate is the fact that most people, because once we get to a point where we are going to try to answer that question is, I'm just want to be by myself. It's like you run into people that don't want a Mercedes Benz, and they go, and they don't want it, they don't like it, or they say, I don't want one, maybe because they can't afford one, or maybe it's just not something there. So we can always come up with these reasons. But at the end of the day, the question would be, you can always want to be by yourself. And I think there's a difference between being alone and lonely, right? And functioning and growing. I don't mind being alone. I'm not lonely, and so I function well alone. But at the end of the day, my question was just trying to uh, maybe get one of these individuals to say something. And so I could reflect back to Queen and just say, why are you by yourself? It's not nothing about ego. Now you can answer that question. Have you been in a relationship before? Have you given up on them? Or maybe you haven't had enough? Maybe, now you want to spend some time by yourself, or maybe. So there's so many other reasons, but our goal was to make sure that if I'm not dancing around to, you know, get people who are in this conscious community that do want to be with someone. That's where I was trying to reflect it to. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to be by themselves, and rightfully so. You should, be by yourself. But I was just hoping that there was a few people who don't want to be by themselves, but really want to question answer. And that's why I didn't want the people out of, saying I'm by myself to put it out there, because that's where that ego comes. They didn't have to answer the question. I've already said, don't worry about answering it. So,
Right.
Yeah,
And we
there
don't.
is there is no absolute, and this thing is a never ending story, and
yeah.
knowledge is endless. So nobody's saying you can't be by yourself. What we're saying is there's a code, or there's a system, or there's an internal energy, especially that sexual energy, that aligns you with people. Right? Remember, sex is just marriage. So when we really boil down to it, it's a aspect of, okay, who do you want to mate with and build a life with, you feel me, and how can you understand your mirror in another person, right? How can you understand your reflection? There's a video I made that I'm gonna give out to people that buy the lecture. Here we go, right here, how to live in your purpose, and it explains thoroughly through the Hindu deities, Brahma and Parvati, Shiva and Shakti, um, Lakshmi and Vishnu, right? Why you want to live in a particular stage with a mate. You feel me? And a lot of times we fall victim to um, the flesh of the world and not just understand what's actually happening on a grander scheme. There's something D. Ray and I are doing in this lecture that we're not going to be able to reveal right here, but at the lecture, we'll be able to explain a lot more in detail on how to transform your life and become anew through relationships. So, hey, 8-8, be there or be square.
Quantus, Quantus. There's someone that kind of echoing what you were saying, and I think you can kind of go deeper into that for them. It says it's Blanche Touch. He says, I need to get married. I know I have to do spiritual growth first to align my best timeline. And you said, what was that measure of how they're seeing themselves to make them think they're not ready or could be ready? And I think you was touching on that just a few seconds ago. And then someone else says, we get it. Some people don't want to go through the trouble and hassle of trying to relate with people. These are the answers that I was looking for with the question, because there is some real reflection that I think people want answers to. And back to what I was saying earlier, I knew our strong minded people didn't need to just raise your hand up and say, because I want to be by myself. So, but what do you think right there? If you see Blanche Touch 21, you say, I need to get married, but I just know I need to do spiritual growth. And then you just mentioned, where is that measure? What makes them think they may not be ready or they should be ready?
Yeah, I actually have I'm going to respond to that, but I also am curious as to why a person would feel they need to get married. I'm not saying that it's incorrect that they need to, but why do they feel that they need to? I feel
Hmm.
like that's a question that anyone needs to ask themselves. Why do you even want to be in a relationship? Because that's going to really set the foundation for the energy that you carry into your union. If you're in a relationship because you need something from somebody, then now you're in it for the sake of attachment, rather than possibly the relationship being what's healthiest for your life's purpose, you
Mhm.
know? So that is a question about like the need to be married. Um, and then also about the spiritual growth piece. Um, I listen to the exact words that people say. So I always respond to the exact words. And aligning with my best timeline stuck out to me, because what I've witnessed often and in the work that I do with people in like helping them shift their frequency to helping them shift their frequency to move past the resistance to the relationship healing and intimacy and things of that nature. So a person might know themselves, right? So they may know that they have some transforming to do before they're prepared to be in company with another person. But when I hear that in particular, and sometimes things of the sort, then what sticks out to me is sometimes people have unconscious resistances to being intimate and with how they are right now, rather than thinking that, okay, I got to heal and I got to heal some more and I got to heal some more and I got to heal some more, rather than just being comfortable with the version of themselves that is present right now.
Yeah.
Great answer. And give a shout out to those people who are being transparent in this setting. I really want to give you a shout out. And that was what all my intentions was from the moment I opened my mouth on that. Someone said I found a soul in Houston. No, I haven't found a soul here in Houston. Somebody sent me a soul sister. Laugh out loud.
Rob, come on, drive down to Dallas. I know you
Come
just
on to
made
Dallas. They're going to be, proximity is everything.
But you know, one of the aspects of it is, you know, the enlightened stage, and even in this book, Shiva, the wild god of power and ecstasy, right? They talk about sex a lot, but the aspect of sex is you disciplining these energies. And like Joseph was saying, the morals and disciplines you carry about yourself is going to make you more enlightened. So naturally, right, if you look at one of the stories in the Bhagavad Gita with Shiva, he was going through the forest, and there was a whole bunch of wild goddess females that was trying to get to him, and they had titties and ass, and he just couldn't control himself. He was just in a whole wonder world in this forest, right? And he knocking them down, he doing his thing, he drinking his wine, and Brahma challenged him, the creator god Brahma. He challenged him, said, man, you can't hold nothing. You can't hold your seed. You can't get past this forest and get to an enlightened state, right? Because again, he was just in the earth, the animalistic stages of this thing. And Shiva said, man, I could do that. Watch this. So he's going through the forest, and the temptation is just wild. It's just everything. It's coming onto him everywhere. The girls' asses are getting fatter. Titties is just getting bigger. Beauty is coming on stronger. But he had to hold it down and break free of all that glamour and that lustful state energy to find the love that he really wanted, which was Shakti or Pravati at the top of the mountain. So what he ended up doing was breaking past all that lustful stuff, climbing to the top of that mountain, and get into Pravati, which is also Shakti, to fall deeply in love with himself. Mm-hmm. So this love that you have for yourself is transformative. It's beyond the ego. It's beyond the human. It's being Mr. Nobody. So that enlightened state y'all are looking for is something that's not of this world, something that's outside of the circles of time. So everybody that does not want to come back to earth, and you keep on claiming that, you're going to have to fall into a space of being nobody, which is meaning you don't have no physical body, but you're actually nobody in the aspect of the ego.
And I want to just add to that too, because that's powerful what the brother's talking about, enlightenment in relationships. Because Shiva can also be looked at as in Egypt, it will be Osiris, right? Because Osiris, she was a destroyer, but she was also a life bringer. You know what I'm saying? And that goes into the whole story. People don't know the hydrogen collider. That's why I don't get hyped up about a lot of that stuff. The hydrogen collider is talking about Shiva anyway. They did a whole ceremony worshiping Shiva when the hydrogen collider got turned on. You know what I'm saying? And this is all relevant. This is very important, right? This goes into the whole relationship aspect. Because at the end of the day, if you want to study the best relationship ever, when you study Shiva, also study Osiris, because everybody know that's a love story, him and Isis. And she was so powerful. She represents the Holy Spirit. Her words brought him back to life. So women, you can speak words into your man and give him life just on speaking to him. His brother killed him, put him in the 13 pieces. She put this joker back together.
Mhm.
That represents the world going out there beating him up. And she put her man back together and spoke life over him. And he can do anything. He became a new god after that. He became the god of the underworld. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's about balance and understanding relationships are spiritual. All this stuff does line up with spirituality. But at the same time, we got to understand the perspectives and the foundation of it. You know what I mean? I'm always messing with Dream, telling him like, man, we're not going to take it to the spiritual, but here I am talking about the spiritual aspect of it too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
hard. I'll be trying my best, but it be hard. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, damn, I'm trying to talk about some mundane stuff. But
this is important because if you want to study the best relationship ever, go study Isis and Osiris.
Yeah, that
is the perfect relationship because they went through it all. Even when he got killed, he put him back. I'm gonna put this joker back together. I'm gonna have my man gonna be a put together man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna speak life over him, and he's still gonna make it. Mm-hmm. That's a powerful woman right there.
Exactly, and that's the whole idea.
She was a single mother. Right. She was a single mother. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so y'all need to study that, and that's going to help the relationship goes even further. I just want to put that out there too.
And that's the whole idea, that magical phallus. So that phallus is actually your pineal gland, right? And that pineal gland is what's going to take you up out of here, spiritual people. So like
atomic firepower.
Right. So like a lot of times we're saying we're spiritual and we have this and we're this and that, but nobody ain't really doing no work. And a part of the work is for you to discipline the energy to find the one. Mm-hmm. And you got to just understand that to the core. So I suggest everybody read, like we was reading this in the Patreon, Gods of Love and Ecstasy. And it's basically about Shiva and Dionysus, but they're the same thing, same archetypical energy. And essentially what it's saying is, if you can see the snake right there, it's saying like, hey, we're trying to raise our vibration, raise our energy up to another state of consciousness. So instead of us being in lust and feeling less than or feeling not our best selves, we fall into a space of love. And love is one of the most powerful energy you can have.
And let me say this: they spoke a Shiva word of power over the hydrogen collider when they turned it on.
Yeah,
I have become deaf to destroy your worlds, right? And they give all that glory to Oppenheimer, but the hydrogen collider is nothing but a woman's vagina. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. And the only person who could penetrate a destructive vagina was Shiva. Shiva was the only one who can do that because Shiva had to go get Kali, get her in check.
Exactly,
she's the goddess of destruction. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just breaking it down where people can understand it. I know we went off on the spiritual side, but we got a couple spiritual people in here. That has to be understood. You know what I'm saying?
I'm down with the spiritual.
That's what I be talking about, that burning bush. What we think the burning bush is. That burning bush is you going
I just want boy meet girl. What about boy meet girl? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, what's your sheet? Hey, baby, what's your sheet?
Oh, Roger.
Tell me your sheet.
Ain't nothing more powerful than the realization. I'm just trying to help people get a realization in relationships. You know what I'm saying? You really want to read a good some drama stories, go read the Bhagavad Gita. But if you want to read a good relationship and how to keep one, go read about Isis and Osiris. Period, point blank.
Absolutely.
Be like, hey, baby, I want some of that Isis Osiris love, baby. You with that?
I'm telling you, man.
Your super cloud of colliding today, baby. You know,
right? Absolutely.
And those might be the words that get her. You never know.
I know, right?
That get her.
She be like, "Oh shit, you talking that stuff?" Like, "Hey, shit, let's go, let's collide this thing." I mean, I think I think that goes all the way back to when we first started this conversation months back, and you say to yourself, we in this conscious community, and where is that line drawn? Of course, I can talk about you got people with spirits and deities in their head. My spirit guide said, I'm not going to make love to you tonight. You'd be like, well, fuck them both, or my team said this, or my ancestors said this, and you're having conversation with multiple people. And all the way back down to, again, just energy. Oh, your energy is low, mine is low, yours is high, this one is high, and oh, matter of fact, we're not, coming together, and it's just so many elements involved when we start putting the tap of consciousness or spiritual on there. I think at the end of the day, we all are women and men, or just boy and girl, so to speak, and hopefully the basics just work, and two people can come together, at some point.
Let me say this real quick, Roger. In this
Yeah.
book right here, The Secret Science of Black Male and Female Sex, T.C. Carrier, right? He breaks down the science all the way to the smallest subatomic particle. Why you need to be with why you need to be with one mate. And it's such a profound and magical idea, or it's just real, right? He's breaking it down all the way. He references like Jewel Fulcrum, right, and obviously Bobby Hammond and Phil Valentine, but the brother is bad. And in this book, he just breaks it down like, look, this thing is about marriage. This thing is about divine marriage. This book right here, Ecstasy Through Tantra, Dr. John Mufford, right? It explains all the practices to just be with one, and how important it is to um, keep circulating that energy, because it's a trust thing that's happening as well. So, I just want to give the family some knowledge to go read and to go study for themselves, so they can actually transform.
All right. Well, then that other question would be, and I know it's kind of a detour, and this can go either way. I would love for your ladies to answer this. You meet someone, whether it's a man or woman, and they just said they've been abstaining for 15 years. Is the drive still there, or is it now just gone? You lose it, not use it, or all of a sudden you married a person. Because I've heard stories, you marry a person and then kind of find out they just don't like it no more. And so where's that gauge at? And I'll start with you, Quantus, on that. She was like, yeah, I got you.
Well, I want to clarify what you're asking. So when you say where's that gauge at, what do you mean by that?
Well, my point, my gauge would be, nowadays you do meet people, and I think we've talked about it before, but I've heard more conversations of people, they're not being intimate anymore. I'm gonna use that word, with another human. I can't tell you what they're doing with themselves, but to a point to where people are getting together and they're not gauging the fact that I like it once a week or this one once a month. I haven't done it in 5 years. So is that a reason, or maybe is it turned off? Yeah, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
Well,
Look, you're like you clear your throat. Like, well, hold on a minute.
well, I can't speak for every woman,
Yeah.
but as someone who has abstained for a while by choice, even in abstinence, it don't turn off. So I will say that the desire does not turn off. Perhaps
Okay.
it does for some women, and when I've seen that the desire has turned off, then I cannot speak for every woman's experience, but based off of the people that I've worked with, there's some type of trauma in the womb that needs to be released to get them reconnected to their sexual
Mm.
energy. The sexual energy is not circulating properly through the body. There's some type of energetic misflow, happening, that is not allowing them to connect with that desire.
And
I
we need to know how vital that energy is. It's not
Yes.
an energy to take for granted. It's your life force energy. So when it is not being utilized, there's a lack of creativity. Like you said, there's a misflow. So we're talking about stagnant energy. Stagnant energy is how women are getting fibroids, right? I had one of my friends, Vash, shout out to you, Vash. She sent this post. A woman said that she had abstained for 8 years or something like that. And when she went to the doctor, she had all of these fibroids. And she didn't know where it was coming from or what. But the only thing that really connected in her spirit that she kind of knew instinctively was the fact that she had not been having sex, hadn't lubricated herself in that divine and sacred way, hadn't moved that energy. And what women need to learn is that when we feel frustrated, sad, mad, this energy has to go somewhere. And so our sexual energy can be a means to alchemizing those emotions. And so when we don't do that, that energy, like you said, gets stuck, it becomes things, it's resentment, it's frustration, it's anger. And so our sexuality helps us to heal those things. So very deep.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's
I
good.
can't wait to use that line. Huh?
I also say before somebody take it and run with it, before somebody takes it and runs with it,
Put in
I will also say that pleasure is healing for the feminine nervous system. Our nervous systems, men and the male and the female nervous system, they operate differently, but pleasure in itself is regulating for us. So that's a one. But if there are still traumatic imprints in the womb, then it's going to be difficult to actually connect with pleasure. Like you might like the sensation of mating with someone, but actual full body pleasure is going to be difficult to feel that if the womb has not been healed and energy hasn't been released. So that's also something, to think about just for women with intentional practices of even just taking like a yoni wand and pressing into the walls of your womb. And then that way the energy will start to release.
Absolutely.
I was just ready to go there with battery operated boyfriend versus abstinence. Does that count? Is that the same thing? I got my toys, but I just haven't been with no man.
Does it count as what?
Well, I'm saying, does that count? Are we still releasing energy, or not we, you all? I've been abstinent for 365 days times 5, that's 1,617 days, 5,000 hours. So versus I got a toy, and I just used my toy yesterday. Is that abstinence still?
I think let me take this one, Roger. I think a lot of times what we're missing is that sex is basically you building with somebody. Like it's like having a meeting. You know what I'm saying? A meeting of the mind. So naturally what happens is when you are in this particular meeting, you're exchanging information through energy, through energetic uh um spirit codes. So naturally what's happening is you're building a conversation in the form of sex through penis and vagina that's actually stimulating, the upper room, if you will, especially if it's done in love. So, a lot of times people are just having sex through lust, and that's okay too. That's a part of this thing. But essentially, when you know how to utilize the tool for what it actually was intended for, you can actually manifest things, right? You can actually have clarity in the mind, both of y'all together, right? And you can actually come um, into a round table discussion with your mate and build, build a reality that suits y'all. Like D-Ray and I, we practice sex magic. Shit, it feels like millions of times now. Goddamn. And essentially, you know what I'm saying, the manifestations in our lives just keep on unfolding and unlocking, and it's a beautiful thing. Like we both was PE teachers, we both was able to leave that particular careers, and now our lives are basically set up based off of us teaching and helping people understand these nuances. And in the 8-8 lecture, don't worry, D-Ray and I are going to get real intimate and dirty, because I think the stuff that we about to say is gonna blow your mind. So all my people in relationships and couples, right?
Well, there's a magical question here. Maybe y'all can tackle this. He says men talk about abstaining is helping men, but women don't want to do that. Semen retention versus a woman being abstinent.
Yeah, that's part of it. You know what
That's
I'm
a
saying?
brother Joseph question.
I don't fully understand that question.
No, me either.
Semen retention versus what now?
Abstinence. A man holding his semen versus a woman saying, I'm being abstinent or abstaining, I guess is what he thinks.
Well, and to be clear, if a woman masturbates while she's not with a man, she still is not having, sex. So, that's still her being celibate. You know what I'm saying? She's not actually engaging with another human.
No.
So in my opinion, that is. Now, I think the semen retention stuff is overrated. I said it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it. I tried it a long time ago and I messed myself up. You know what I'm saying? I tried it a long time ago. Reading the book and thinking, no, that type of science. Brother, I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's bird science. You're
gonna mess around and not be able to get one off for a long time. You hold out too long. Your body is naturally gonna think that's how it's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And a man ain't supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying a man ain't supposed to do semen retention. I'm just saying people, that's overrated in my opinion. People think they're going to ascend to the highest spiritual level because they don't bust one off every now and then. I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. But shout out to the people that's doing it. I'm not trying to put you down, but I don't. Y'all brothers, I think y'all need to tone it down with a lot of the semen retention stuff.
There's a chapter in here called "The Orgasm: The Gateway to Heaven." Orgasm, the gateway to heaven, in this chapter, and essentially, it's when you do give a goddess an orgasm, right? You can actually penetrate through her heart. There's a real good book, Jewel Pope's book, Straight from the Heart, and she speaks about this bonding compound that happens in the aspect of sex.
To make them laugh.
So
let me say this on that too. Oh, go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead, Joseph. So I think that's what was Roderick talking about? He was talking about goddess orgasm essentially.
Well, I just want to say this real quick.
Somewhere.
Since we're on the topic, most men never had an orgasm. Men don't have orgasms. You can, but you need to train yourself to do that because your clitoris is up here. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother science. So men, while you holding your semen, you need to understand a man ejaculating is very small compared to what a woman do. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to throw that out there because once again, I learned that whole science and understood it from reading mythical science books like Dream is putting up. You know what I'm saying? When you understand Shiva and understand that science of ejaculation and what the Shiva phallus represent, atomic firepower. You know what I'm saying? You just got to understand the science behind it. So I think that's important in relationships too. I just want to throw that because Dream was talking about that.
And semen retention is different.
But most men don't know that. Men don't have orgasms. In case brothers didn't know that.
Right. Semen retention is different from you actually moving your energy up. So when you hold your seed, that's one thing, fellas. But like you still have to have sex on semen retention to be able to transmute that energy upwards, right? Through the aspect of this chi energy moving up and flowing up through your spine to come to the heavens or to your crown, right? So you can think more clearer and more sound. So I don't want brothers to think like you just holding your seed and that's it. No, it's a whole exercise, it's a whole transformative process into it that you got to learn and understand to the core.
Well, I retired my little thing for a while, but so y'all can see it, you ladies.
Oh shit!
Just to let you know, it's in retirement right now. But
what is?
Hey, just get your visualization on. Some of y'all will get that by the time we hang up. You know, Quanta's like Scooby-Doo, like what? She like what?
He's confused.
I'm just there. Oh, so yeah, y'all figured it out. By the time y'all get off this air, you be like, really? Yeah, you just walk into the room, say, baby.
Is it
y'all come on out to the lecture because we gonna keep it real.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it real. So just get you one of these and be ready.
Somebody said the guy head. Damn. Yeah.
Quanta's still over there talking about, well, I mean, this is abstaining. What was that? What is that? Okay. Well, D-Ray, Desiree, text it and tell her.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm just processing.
Well, they have a whole thing in.
Water says she processed it.
They have a whole thing in this book, Ecstasy Through Tantra, about the head and the cunnilingus, right? And it basically speaks on the aspect of the brainchild, fellatio, and you creating
Dream said, I got
a brainchild.
all the books.
Baby got the text. Baby got the text. Okay.
Look, the brainchild is important. Like, this is another aspect of you getting your head right. You feel me? Or being in that guy head. It says forces so that a brainchild, an idea or concept, is magically conceived. Such a brainchild is immortal, out of living any mere physical finite span of existence that could be achieved through physical birth. So we're saying, if you're trying to have an idea, get you some head. You feel me? And
be careful what you show on the video, bro.
Oh,
they might try to shut it off.
My bad, shit. But I'm just saying, you got to think about it. That head is a big thing in the aspect of you having, see, and I thought I was talking to spiritualists, but maybe I'm talking to Benedict Baptist Christian spiritualists in the chat. Y'all gotta understand to the core, like, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about new love life. We're talking about being loved and grown in the aspect of you moving into a space of power, right? Of enlightenment, of a state of consciousness that y'all are all seeking. You feel me? Yeah. So we want the family to understand, like, hey, look, when you come to this 8-8 lecture, you're going to hear some things, and these things is going to blow your mind.
And also, we want people
how many
to know,
women, how many women you think us men going to walk up to and say, hey, I want to do some sex magic with you? You're going to be like, yeah, okay.
Oh, no, it's not going to happen like that. But
most people will be down for that. Most people are going to be down for that. Especially people who never tried it. Of course. People are wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, people today do
for real though.
I'm like,
for real.
I'm trying to tell you.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
People be acting like they not wild. People are very
try
wild.
Anything today.
Wow, that's crazy.
Y'all know it's the truth.
Wow.
The stuff he did, he was doing. There's a lot of people out there doing that type of stuff. Like behind the scenes, it's some. I'm just gonna be honest. There's some couples, boyfriend, girlfriend, who got a side piece together. Candy Burris was just doing it with Ty. Like, they had a couple people used to show up at their house. Who knows what they was doing? I done heard all kinds of stuff about Candy, right? So I'm just being honest. Like, it happens. These kids today will teach you something. You know what I'm saying? These kids 22, they'll teach you something. So you come up with something new they never heard about. Oh yeah, let's try that. You know what I'm saying? Let's try. They're gonna be down. I'm trying to tell you.
Let that be an opening line, baby.
We've been speaking on these panels, talking about relationships. We barely talk about spirituality. And y'all gotta understand, me, Dream, D-Ray, Sister Quantum, we're spiritual teachers too. You know, we talk about the spiritual aspect of things. So it's gonna come up sometimes. You know, but that's what's wrong with people. They need to add it sometimes. I ain't just talking about sex magic. I'm saying just everything around it. Understanding relationship. I understood my relationship better from reading mythology. It's gonna be honest with you. Reading mythology, reading about the gods and how they argued. Orishas getting in fights. Shango and Oshun. What was going on? And you know what I'm saying? Oshun and Ogun. Like, I learned from watching the gods. And we can learn from that too. That's all I'm saying. That's a spirit, that's an aspect. I always tell me there's a occult side to everything. There's an occult side to business, there's an occult side to relationships. And I think that's what's wrong with the world. People don't really understand the foundation of it. We can talk about marriage, that's just a business. Right? It's a business on a physical level. Really, on a spiritual level, marriage is sex. So a lot of people got husbands out here. A lot of people got wives. But the staying together, that's the hard part. Can you do that? And that comes with something more than just looking each other in the eye. You know, it comes with principles and morals and character building and trusting each other. Trust. All that's important, family, and spirituality.
Absolutely. And on a I want to say a mundane level, but I guess it's still tying the spiritual. On a spiritual level, you know what I mean? When you are in love instead of in lust, essentially your relationship moves better, right? More flirtatious, more conversation, more building, more reciprocal energy that doesn't have to be spoken about. Like D Ray, the reason why she ain't beside me right now is because she was cooking. She said, "No, I got to cook for my man." You feel me? We had a busy day. We was getting to it. We was making moves.
I mean, is that a cold word? Is that a cold word for you hungry, or were you trying to go? What do you mean?
Well, no, she was cooking and she said, "Hey, look, I'll be up there in a minute. I'm gonna make sure this meal is made." And we didn't talk about it. She just kind of went and said, "Hey, I'll be up there in a second. Don't worry." Da, 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 right? And that's love because one is just love for food is an aspect of love. That's soul food, right? So essentially, she's just showing love in the aspect of, "Hey, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my man." You feel me? And then vice versa, us making plays, us doing stuff, me driving her around, me making this move, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. So what I'm speaking of is higher than the lust, human aspect, the animalistic urges that a lot of people are facing out here in the world. We can talk about those particular topics, but as spiritualists, you know what I'm saying, naturally it just comes out of us to take it somewhere higher. And in this 8-8 lecture, essentially, D. Ray and I, in our particular build, we're going to speak about how to gain that love so you can transform for the better. You can do this by yourself. You don't need a mate. You feel me? So we're speaking about it in the aspect of you becoming a more enlightened being. So now everybody around you is love. You feel me? And you'll feel it in our energy. Like you walk up to Yosef, you're gonna, oh shit, nigga. Damn, hold on, give me a hug. You feel me? That's love. You be like, damn, what the hell? We seen Quanis at that first event. We was like, wow, what the fuck?
Very true.
Bob came in the whoa.
That's real talk. I want to say this.
Very
Sister
true.
Quanis, you have a lot of goddess, natural, divine feminine energy. 100%. When Sister Quanis came out last year, I didn't even know she was in the room, y'all. I didn't even see she walked in. She just sitting there, chilling. I was like, where'd she come from? You know what I'm saying? Quiet. Definitely have a lot of divine goddess energy. Shout out to Sister Quanis. She's a real one. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely tell she's healed from a lot of things.
So that's what I mean when we're talking about.
True.
Yeah, when we're talking about these concepts, we're talking about a vibration, something that you can feel without words. So I know a lot of people, when they meet D. Ray and I, when they meet Yosef, Roderick, Quanis, right? When they meet us, they're just engulfed in a particular energy, and we're not even saying that. That's what we're talking about. It's going to happen when you learn and move into some of these principles and transformative ideas at this particular lecture. And then you'll meet like-minded individuals that's going to pull up and show out with that particular energy as well.
I want to say one thing. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So, Desiree, can you turn your camera off for a minute? This is a man conversation with your guy. I just want to know, you showing these books of people upside down. I mean, are y'all going to show this kind of stuff at 8-8, show some people some of these secrets or I'm just saying, I mean, because everybody's learning to keep, is get their mates. I mean, we don't want sexual magic is the way to causing a fall in love, or is it love in the beginning? But when you show the books and you show the picture, you was like, hey, it looked like somebody was hanging upside down. I just want to know, do y'all practice what you preach? And then are y'all going to show some people some of this stuff at August 8th?
Yeah, you know what it is more so about you being in the presence of.
I had a court reporter read back to you. Do y'all hang upside down?
Well, you know what's so interesting? I've been in the gym. And that gym, I've been trying to get it in. You feel me? So I turn her ass upside down and try to get, what I'm saying? Come here, girl.
You dealing with a tall glass of water over there.
And then I'd be like, oh shit. Hold on, babe. Whoa. Gotta make sure that bed is right there.
Listen, on a serious note, Dream and I have definitely talked about hosting couples retreats, okay? Not to be on no funny business, okay? But to really get real about relationships, intimacy, closeness, okay? We got dreams and desires retreats coming soon. So examples will be given, okay? Examples will be given, okay? We
All right.
practice.
All
We put
right
into
now. All
practices.
right now. All right. I love it. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Y'all, you can see we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna be able to talk about some things that we cannot talk in public, but everybody's just real people, real questions, real things, and everyone up here on this screen today are just like you. We're real people, and there's no limits. There's won't be any limits that you want to ask and talk about. That's not. We still got respect for one another, right? So you're definitely going to do that. But in the description of this video, there's a link there to get your tickets of any one of you. We're going to probably be here another 15 minutes tops. If any of you go and get your ticket, especially if it's going to be live, put a shout out in the chat so that we can make sure we give you a personal shout out. And also one of them offer you some type of t-shirt or something. I don't know what they're going to do, but right now is the time. So, and for those of you who are going to buy your online ticket as well, we definitely give you a shout out to watch some things uncensored, that we will have a mic on so that you can kind of hear the conversations as well. And so there's the links there, right there on the screen. Is if you're watching from my channel, it's in the video there. We're less than 30 days away. And we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here all day that day, so you get an opportunity to meet people in what I call a beautiful closed environment, and really get some of those questions answered, and feel that energy that Brother Joseph was talking about with Quantas, and then of course Brother Joseph's energy, and Desiree and Dreamwise, and and I just love all of these people. I really do. We talk off the air as well, and share different types of our conversations, just building life together as well. So this is not unfamiliar territory for none of us, but at the same time, for all of you who's going to be part of that, I will tell you, nothing will be as it was ever again. Once you leave that event, you will have some answers. And I'm not saying that you may not walk away meeting that person, because there was enough of you all in here saying that you don't get out much, you don't do this. But what if you came here and met the same person who don't get out? Now two people are here, and your peanut butter and your jelly mix. I grew up in that commercial, and all those things. But just to say the least, I'll go around the room here and just kind of, I'll start with Brother Joseph at the top here, and then I'll just come back around to Quantas toward the end. Is there there are a few things that you want people to truly be prepared for when they come August the 8th? I mean, I don't want you. We're not going to give out everything now, but we definitely want some people to know that there's some things you're going to say that you normally don't say, because we talk about it in private. But let's just give them a little tip of what do you think somebody's going to get from you on August 8th. And I'll start with Brother Joseph.
What people would definitely get from me is I got 20-something years experience with the same woman. I built a family with her, became successful. You're gonna get experience, you know what I mean? I don't let my wife talk in the public on my spiritual or my other thing, but in my tribe, she comes on there, she's giving her perspective on our relationship and stuff like that. And I know we about to get off here soon. We got to run out of time. But I just wanted to set the ground for a question here, and I just have to say it. How important would everybody say? And I'm sorry to throw this off, Brother Roger, but how important would everybody say is affection?
Shit.
Right?
Like air? I mean, money ain't everything, but I rated right up there with oxygen, so to speak. Yeah. Affection.
Well, I'm talking about affection, brother. Like when you showing, like in a relationship, y'all, I've noticed something in relationships. People don't really know how to, they think sex is affection. Being sexual all the time is affection, right? When you can just show affection to your mate, right? And I'm saying that because some of the happiest moments, my parents divorced young when I was young, but I still have memory of my dad kissing on my mother, showing her affection, right? When it was good. And I notice a child psychologically needs to see, as much as they like, ew, you don't want to see that, you know, they need to see their parents or whoever their mother or father's with being affectionate. Makes you the child in ways psychologically they don't even know it. And I think to each other, it makes us, it assures us, right? I think affection is one of the most important things. Once you solidify a relationship, affection is important. You know what I'm saying? It's important to show affection. And I think some people don't always know how to show affection because they never was shown affection from their parents. Think about this. You might be dating people that was never given affection from their parents, mother or father. And then they get in a relationship, they never had affection. They never had somebody grab them and hold them and kiss them. You know what I'm saying? I think these are very important things to consider when looking for a relationship, an affectionate person, because that could be healing. I had to get that out for. I know we went off topic today.
No, that's good.
Bit, but now, I think I have to get that out.
Public,
and I think call it public display. If anybody wants to speak on that?
Yeah, is that public or in private? You know, people talking about, oh, I don't do no public display.
Both holding hands in public. Some people don't like to.
Yeah.
To hold hands in public. Some people do.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with y'all. I don't like kissing in public. I never have. Right? I like kissing in private. I like to be private about my affection. It's between me and this person. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I hold my wife in public. My wife's hand in public. But there's certain things I like to have intimate between us. Some people don't care. They'll kiss in public, hold hands, slap somebody down. They don't care. So how? And I see people responding already. Affection is very important, and I think I'm gonna touch on that in deeper at the lecture. So I mean at the event. So y'all come on out. If anybody want to speak on affection, I think that's very important in relationships.
Yeah. What I do is with D-Ray is, and our kids is sitting there watching, they're eating, they're sitting at the table eating breakfast or whatever. And I might be standing up, she's standing up, and I'll give her a hug, a kiss. And, you know, our kids will see that, right? And that's just evidence that mommy and daddy is in love.
Right.
And they have each other's back, and they're really intimate. Our daughter the other day, no, where's she at, baby? Is she in the room?
No.
Oh, okay. Our daughter the other day, she came in. I was showing some affection. You feel me? Throat chakra was getting tossed up. And I'm like, damn, baby, she called me, give you the, well, at least she know she just bust in the door.
And now you know when those damn
my ass was out and everything. My head, I'm going crazy, right?
It was the first, y'all. It was the first time that this has ever happened to us. So we were
just
shocked.
And we was like,
it's just happened. Oh my God.
How old is your baby?
8 years old.
My daughter, she just busts in 12 o'clock at midnight. 12.
Never forget that.
Now she needs some therapy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I said, hold on. And then I said, hey, man, look. I mean, that
wrestling.
She probably didn't know what we was doing, right? Because, you know, she just see her dad's ass out and she just looking like.
So you just said that daddy was looking for something, baby. I was just looking for something. That's
what is he doing down there?
I was looking.
Anyway, we kind of talked to her and said, hey, next time knock, right? Knock all the time. But you know what I'm saying? We talk to our kids about sex a lot. We try to not hide anything, especially when we see it on TV, because we're just trying to make sure they understand that it's a part of the human process that we're all going through. And if we can give them some evidence of love through them seeing us affectionate, then that's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely share beautiful affectionate moments in front of the kids, and you can see that they, that they feel that energy. But what I also wanted to say is that affection sometimes needs to be learned. Like, I didn't grow up in a hugging household. It's still very awkward for me and my mother to hug right now. Like, it's kind of like, but we are doing more of it, right? So I had to learn to hug more through my relationship with Dream, because he needed that affection, physical touch in a multitude of ways, right? Me, I'm like acts of service, words of affirmation, or whatever, because that's how my mother raised me as a single mother. That's how she did it, right?
Mhm.
So I think we have to be present in order to start exercising more affection. I think we have to like follow the instinct, because there's sometimes in my mind I'll get like a glimpse of something that I could do that would be affectionate. Like, let me just go sit right down next to him and be a little bit close. You know, let me graze his hand. And sometimes I'll act on it, but sometimes there's a little bit of a hesitation. So I think presence and mindfulness helps us to exercise more affection and notice little moments where we can, have that physical touch that shows our love and our desire.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also want to tack on to that question. Thank you for that question, Brother Yosef, and ask, how important is non-sexual intimacy? Because affection, absolutely, touch, absolutely. But you get
So
into
good.
some situations where you don't even know the person outside of touching them. You haven't done anything to create just a bond
Mhm.
outside of any layer of touch.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Getting
Agree.
deep
that's
in
good
here.
because
Or can you
one
go deeper
aspect
in? Go deeper in that because I missed that a little bit.
one
Really
aspect of
good.
it is the song "I'm a Flirt." Right? You got to be flirtatious with your spouse, with your wife, with your partner. Right? You can't be cold and um, have no love for the particular energy of the dance
Please
that's
freeze.
supposed to happen, right?
Oh.
There's a dance that's happening, and this dance is important in the aspect of relating with people. Like, some people don't have no people skills, right? They don't have the conversational piece to um, see past their own egoic nature and their own egoic self. So, usually what I do is I'll go to the store and I'll see some flowers and I'll bring them home to D-Ray just based off of his Wednesday. So, naturally, what we got to do is be conscious and aware that, what I'm saying, you can put a smile on your goddess's face by just small little gestures. I'll bring home them chocolates, them Lindell chocolates, just because I passed them up. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I might be thinking egoically, I might be like, okay, maybe I get some ass nice, yeah, get the chocolates, shit, you know what I'm saying? Feel big and get these chocolates right and shit. Maybe it can happen. But see, that's the human, right? That's the human side that people want to hear. But it's not that. It's really just the love. Like, hey, baby, I got you these because I just thought about you. So you know what I mean? We got to look past the lust and get into the love aspect, and that's what we're going to talk about at this 8-8 lecture.
I like
Mm-hmm.
that question. Yosef, you gonna answer
Well,
it too?
no,
Go ahead, Yosef.
we had cut off the conversation between Roderick and Quintus was talking. They was actually he was asking her to go in deeper on what she was talking about. So I didn't want to stop
Oh
them.
yeah. He did want a deeper dive into it.
Oh yeah, I mean, so speaking of non-sexual intimacy, kind of touching on what Dream said, it's when you're relating to a person in a way where there is no need for it to go further. So say something like cooking together. We're getting to know one another. I think on the last call, one of the calls, Dream mentioned like the cards where you can ask one another questions, just getting to know each other and spending true quality time where the intent is just to become just to become more intimate with the person. If sex happens, then cool,
Mhm.
but I think that there are so many people who have never experienced actually knowing a person. Intimacy is to know them, and they have never experienced being known outside of sex being attached to that.
Absolutely, that's fire. Yeah, that's what it is. I
Very
mean,
good
you,
point.
But
you got to be able. That's what I'm saying. Like because the lust energy is there, right? A guy could be like, okay, maybe if I play this game, I can get in her draws. But the real game is just you being that nigga, right? and excuse my language, I just know how to say it in that particular way, in the aspect of you raising up your energy and being in love with yourself. So the reciprocal energy will then come into the union state. See, when D-Ray and I first got together, we was both in our spiritual bag heavy, right? I was on my journey in quest of getting rid of the world, destroying the world completely. So naturally, I would go to work, come home, read books, do my meditations, come home, do that same thing over and over and over again. I got rid of TV, got rid of social media, everything, right? And boom, lo and behold, D-Ray was here. And we have conversations about spiritual matters and different things and ideas. And naturally, she would come over, we'll have them conversations. Sometimes we wouldn't have sex. Cool. Sometimes we would, but it wouldn't happen in the aspect of force. It'll happen in the aspect of power. So I think, what I mean? Like, we have to really get serious about what we're actually trying to become and move into the space of understanding that is beyond the human. And if you're trying to get down with the gods and the goddesses and spiritual beings, then essentially you got to figure out how to assert yourself and put yourself in places and positions to transform. Because a lot of times, oh, go ahead, babe.
And I will still say to this day, it is our conversation that is a major part of what turns me on in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like when we sit down and we're talking about whatever we're talking about and we are present and one with each other in real intimacy, sharing our vulnerabilities or our dreams or whatever it may be, that is still the sexiest thing to me.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's super essential in order to have a lasting relationship. An ability to really see each other and hold space for each other, I think is a major part in sustainability. So,
right. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I'm saying about bringing the flowers. The flowers is just the flow of her. So that flow of her is that the menses and all of that liquid goodness that's flowing out of her based off of you coming with a particular level of energy, which is flowers in this physical realm. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
He like, feed me, feed me, feed me.
Roger, go ahead, boy. Man, fuck all that bullshit, man. I'm ready. Hey, I got a tongue, my mouthpieces. And you know what's so beautiful about that, Roderick? When you do have the mouthpiece, that thing gonna be hidden even harder whenever you are down there.
And we talked about it, right? Y'all remember our conversation? So yeah, it's all good.
Throw chakra on 1,000, baby.
How do you really have a bib at your desk though? Like, how is that accessible right now?
Let me show you.
Like, what is that? Okay.
I think that is what I was processing, not the fact that the bib was present and what the bib was for.
Why is like how
there?
Why is it there?
I have an electric desk. It comes up and down.
Oh,
it comes all the way up.
Yeah,
it comes all the way down.
Wow,
I gotta get one of those.
Yeah,
just use your imagination. Now, don't get me wrong. It's abstaining right now.
Okay.
Hey,
we gonna have fun.
But you got it there just in case. You got it there just in case.
It's just let you know how far I'm willing to go.
No, that's right.
Just take me there. I'm easy. Just take me there.
Hey, and that desk is at the same place where we're gonna be at 8-8, huh?
Yeah.
Don't disappear in the office for too long.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, matter of fact, there's one for y'all over there.
Yeah.
That one let up in there. There's another one over there. And there's another one that raises up over there. All of them heavy duty. That's a husky. That's a husky. This one is a weight bearing. And yeah. So
you just got all kind of portals opening up in that office.
Man,
that's
yeah, exactly.
It's all good. You know, it's all imagination and everything else, but just imagination my ass. All I'm saying is this: you guys got to come here. Y'all just blew my whole outline there. Y'all got to come here in Dallas, have some fun with us, and just kind of chill out with us. Somebody talk about buffet time, yeah. And we just kind of do our thing. But that's the whole point. You want that toy and symbolism. It's like what they call a Pavlovian dog thing. So just imagine, you know, you and your girl, by the time y'all get to a point, she just see you.
You know what?
And she just know. She just know. She just know it's just time. We gotta go to work. You know, we're going to work. You know what I'm saying?
I got a video on that. I made a video on it. What did I call it? I called
You don't
it.
have to say nothing. You don't have to ask for it. You ain't gonna say nothing. Just go.
Right. And you know that 8/8 is a portal time. It is a portal time.
Right.
Go down and eat. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the science of it, but yeah, that whole 8/8 was about getting to the vagina, getting to that them Kalis, right? That's coming out of the goddesses. So yeah, man. I know we getting real vulgar here, but you know, y'all Benedict Christian spiritualists will be all right.
Yeah, so Matt was asking a question. Yes, we're going to be here in Dallas. Everybody you see on this screen will be in Dallas August the 8th. Okay, they're going to be in Dallas, Texas. We're going to be here at the DEC network, which we have an event center there. And so make sure the tickets, y'all can get the link there. And again, if you can't make it to Dallas, you want to see some uncensored stuff, we have a limited place there for some of you to watch online. So you can go ahead and purchase that ticket for that feed as well. But I will tell you, if you can get here and come and experience the energy, that's the whole point, that I think that we're going to have a great time and pretty much and do that. With that being said, I'm not going to hold everyone else up here. You know, there are people here who are married. They have dinner waiting, dinner to be cooking. You heard the secret lines they were using, the conspiracy of, you know, so he's ready, she's ready, you know, they're going to go, you know, it's like, get the kids fed, meet me upstairs. Y'all heard the lines, meet me upstairs, you know, so, you know, and all that stuff. And Brother Joseph, you know, it's always clockwork as well. As far as Quantas and I, you know, we will see y'all when the time comes in Dallas and everything else. And so Quantas, don't get off this time. When we get off, we're going to let them get off, and then we all talk about them behind their backs. Okay. And we just kind of do that. So is there any last words, any of y'all?
See y'all at the event. Looking forward to it. Yeah,
we'll see y'all at the event. Okay. And much love to each and every one of you. If you didn't hear the words "I love you" over the week, I want you to know I love you, and make sure that not the parrot love and love you back, but you deserve to hear it. And so therefore I love you. And so for those watching it later, just put "I love you" all in the text so other people will come later so they can feel the love. So let's go.
All right.